Hey there guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another best class setup video in Cold War. Of course, today we are taking another look at the Streetsweeper Shotgun, which is a really cool weapon in this game. Essentially, it's just a shotgun where you can just sprint around everywhere, have an absolute whale of a time. Like, it's just so much fun to just sprint around and blast people away, and you just know that it makes them so super upset. We did make a video on this the other day, but I think we've got a better class setup this time, and hopefully you guys can actually just run around and sprint everywhere and just blast people away, because this is a lot of fun to run around with. Just before we do get into it here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it, and it does very much help me out. We are still moving very quickly towards 4,000 subscribers. I think we only need 150-ish left, so that's very exciting. So help me out if you can. Anyway, let's just jump straight into our Streetsweeper Shotgun class setup here. So, as usual with these videos, the timestamps will be, of course, on the video's loading bar and in the description. So if you do want to just skip straight to the Streetsweeper's attachments, feel free to do that. But we're going to start off with our tactical option here. We're not really worried about the primary. This is just something that I'm working on unlocking and leveling up at the time. But we are just mostly running with our shotgun here. So, of course, starting with the tactical, we want that smoke grenade, of course. Being able to block off those longer lines of sight so we can move around the map more effectively is actually really important here. The stim shot is also a good option, and we probably run this if the Streetsweeper was just our sidearm and we had a regular class setup, but because we're only running a shotgun, a smoke grenade is a really important tool here. In the lethal slot, we're going with the C4. It is really easy here to just chuck it around a corner, blow it up, take that damage, and then move around the corner and finish them off with an easy shotgun shot. Then, of course, we want that field upgrade. We're going with the jammer today because it is very powerful to block off any information. Not being able to see their minimap is super strong in this game. The wildcard slot, we are going for perk greed here. Basically, we get an extra perk in each category. We don't want gunfighter because we don't have a primary weapon that's actually useful. So, of course, perk greed is a fantastic place to start here. Then, of course, in the perk slot, we are going for flak jacket as that mandatory option at the moment, basically because there's so many explosives going around right now, and just taking a little bit less damage from explosives is, of course, very nice here. And in the other slot, we've got forward intel, because being able to see where enemies are spawning is particularly powerful with a shotgun, as we do have to cross large distances to get to the spawns to control those areas. So also having a larger minimap is really important. In the perk 2 slot, we're going for assassin here, because when somebody does get revealed on our minimap, sometimes they do get a little crosshair indicator, meaning we get extra points for killing them. And then, of course, scavenger, which is really nice here to get extra shells for our shotgun. And then perk 3, we want gung ho, ghost, or ninja. These three, you take your pick here. I'm actually going to go with Ghost and Ninja rather than Gung Ho, because we don't want to be revealed on those UAVs, and of course Ninja is super great option here. So as for our Streetsweeper Shotgun attachments, of course, this is a little bit different to what we featured the other day, but at the same time, it does a fairly similar job. Basically, we're starting off with that muzzle here instead of the infantry V-choke. Now we're going with the flash cone here for that 90% increase to our muzzle flash concealment. This is basically the sound suppressor, like it's a baby sound suppressor without the loss of damage range, which is super nice here. It does help us stay off those minimaps very quickly. Like, we'll shoot a shot, we'll shoot a couple of shots, and then our red dot will disappear very quickly from the minimap. One of the big differences here is, of course, in the barrel slot. Now, this is fairly interesting here. Basically, with the Ranger barrel, we get a 2-shot kill distance of about 7.6 meters, which is very nice here, and that's really all we're looking for with this particular shotgun. We did choose the Task Force barrel last time, and the 2-shot kill distance with this particular weapon, or this particular barrel rather, is about 7 meters, which is lesser than the Ranger barrel. And you can't really get 1-shot kills with the Ranger barrel, but the 1-shot kill with the Task Force barrel really only gives you a 1-shot kill distance of about 2 meters, which is really not worth it. So being more effective at those longer distances, like that 7.6 meters, is actually quite important to sort of maintain. So we are going with that Ranger barrel for that 30% increase to our effective damage range here. In the body slot, we're going for that 5mm laser. Gives us the nicest amount of hip fire accuracy of 35% here. This is a very important attachment. We can sprint around everywhere and blast people away with this shotgun. In the magazine slot, we want the most amount of shells to fire. So of course, the Stanag 18 round drum mag is very nice for doing this. Keep in mind that the 32% minus to our reload quickness is really only because it does take longer to reload more shells. It's not like it adds or makes it slower to actually reload individual shells. And lastly, we're going with the stock here. This is kind of interesting. I've seen somebody talking about how good the marathon stock is with this particular option. Just look at the stats that we do get here. 5% increase to our sprinting movement speed, which is very important for moving around the map quite quickly if you are sprinting everywhere. This is a super nice option. A 10% increase to our shooting movement speed is also very nice. 25% increase to our sprint to fire speed, and a 10% increase to our aim walking movement speed, which if we are aiming down sight, we can move around a little bit faster. And for those lovely statistics, a total of 50% increase to stats overall. We only lose 25% hip fire accuracy, which we are compensating with for the 5mm laser. So as we usually do with these class setups, we're just going to jump into some gameplay here and have a good time with the Streetsweeper, because this is a very powerful shotgun in this game. So as you might be able to tell, Nuketown is a perfect place to start off with this particular shotgun. As we've showed it off before, basically all you have to do is get into the enemy house and you can wreak some absolute havoc here. Plus, with just having a shotgun that you can just go like that, like it's pretty. Oh no, there was a boy waiting in the house. Very, very strong, of course. So yeah, we are making maximum use of our smoke grenade here because it is a little bit tricky to come across the gaps. Sometimes it is important that you can actually cross these gaps and not die. Normally, you would have something a little bit longer range to take care of those excess gaps. Like, normally it wouldn't be too big of a deal if you were running like an SMG or a shotgun or, oh boy, an SMG or an assault rifle. Sorry, not a shotgun. And it'll be making it a little bit easier for us to cross these gaps, but only because we have a shotgun, we can just sort of go, chuck a smoke grenade down and just sort of go from there. It's usually not too difficult. This better be a nice shot here. This better be a nice shot from this dude. Nah, pretty lame. That's all right. It is also a particularly useful weapon on hardpoint, as people do typically have to run into you. If people walk you through this door here, they are going to get blown up, so that is pretty handy for us. We are, however, going to chuck that smoke grenade there, and then move around here, take out a couple of easy kills, and pretty much just look for more people to kill, like this guy here. He's just minding his own business. Let's get inside and run up the stairs while we reload. But I mean, poor guy. There is also a lot of content coming very, very soon. I know it did drop today. There was a bit of a patch that dropped like the new what is it called? The Fireteam Dirty Bomb mode, I believe it is. The Sanatorium, which is pretty nifty. Apparently it's very, very big, like one of the biggest maps we've ever seen. It looks like you can also almost play like Battle Royale on it. It's very, very big. We're also getting a new Zombies map on the 4th of February, and then we're also getting a new multiplayer map as well, which is, of course, Express, that we have seen from Black Ops 2, which I'm wondering how they're actually going to execute that, like how it's going to look, like with the whole, like this is supposed to be set in the 80s, and that is a fairly futuristic map as it's from like Black Ops 2, so it'll certainly be interesting to see what they actually do with that particular map, if it's like changed aesthetic wise or it actually just looks exactly the same as it did in Black Ops 2, but either way, it's a good map. Express is a very cool map. But with a goofy ass shotgun like this, all you have to do is just run around and spray people down. But what we really want to do is get into this house here, put our jammer down just in a nice little spot, and that means people who are in that... Okay, dude. Okay. But now, people who are in that house, if they don't destroy it immediately, they will not have access to a UAV, which is very, very handy, of course. Where is that guy? He's just... Yeah, that was probably him. Now, as we spoke about in the start of this video, this isn't like the ideal shotgun for getting like maximum damage range or anything like that. Like, the one-shot kill distance is basically non-existent unless you're using the larger barrel, the task force barrel that we spoke about. And then your two-shot distance, as we mentioned as well, is about 7.6 meters. Now, the difference is just how easy this shotgun is to use. Something like the Hauer 77, you do have to actually aim a little bit. You do actually have to sort of have a little bit of aim. Like, most of the time you're going to get your pretty easy kills, but sometimes it can be difficult to hit shots. But with this particular option, all you have to do is just run up and go la la la, and then everybody dies. So it's like how good the Origin 12 used to be in Warzone. Like, it didn't do the most damage, but it was ridiculously easy to use, and that's sort of a fairly important metric to sort of measure as well when you're talking about shotguns. But yeah, you basically just close your eyes, walk around everywhere, and just blast people away. The only downside is, of course, the reload speed. In saying that, though, there is a nifty little tip that you can go with. If there is a map that you are playing on and it does have one of the ammo reload boxes, you can have 0 shells in your gun, and if you put that reload box, so you hit up that box, basically you will be instantly reloaded to full, which is absolutely hilarious. Like, that is very, very powerful. Just to have no bullets and then go to maximum shells is very cool. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you are playing on one of those maps with one of those boxes around, because they can actually be quite useful. Oh, I thought that wasn't any, but we just walked in there just like willy-nilly and didn't even worry about it. Is he still in there? Yep. Alright, we're in a little bit of a tricky spot here with this war machine. Like, It is an instant kill weapon for the most part, but if we get too close to the spawn, yeah, they get spawn protection, which is like ridiculous. And sometimes you shoot people and they just don't die. And that is mostly down to spawn protection, but it's like, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that was not too bad. That's pretty much why we use this shotgun. That's pretty much why we use this shotgun, boys. Just gonna grab that so I don't make an idiot of myself and kill my teammates. No! Oh, that was a nice little streak there, and we couldn't pull it off there. But I think we have messed around with the shotgun for long enough. This game has a long while to go yet, but we are just going to drop out here and get into our final thoughts in just a second here. So of course, with the Streetsweeper, all we get is a close range powerhouse. Being able to get those 2-shot kills at 7.6 meters versus the other barrel that we did choose at 7 meters is of course very, very important here. 1-shot kills with this particular weapon are not super relevant, as the distance to get a 1-shot kill is only about 2 meters with the other barrel, so we do skip over that task force barrel for the time being, and we're a lot happier with the Ranger barrel because it's a lot more fun to run around with and actually be able to shoot people at those further distances. Anyway guys, hopefully you did enjoy this one. If you did, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it, and it does very much help me out. Hopefully we can get to 4,000 subscribers sooner rather than later, and hopefully you guys can help me out in getting there. Anyway, I will of course see you in the next video. Bye!